It's me, Sloan. How's it going? Oh, my goodness. So much has happened. First, let's just talk about the family reunion, and I'll catch you up in another video on other things. But family reunion happened this weekend, and I think it was probably the most fun I've had in a while. And so it was a really busy weekend, and I was in touch with my nephew, who's not part of the family that the reunion was happening with. Remember, I have my biological family, which has two sides, and then I have my outlaw family, which has like 15 sides. So there's that. And so my outlaw nephew, and I was dealing with him and his moving, and he was moving into a new apartment, and my outlaw niece was giving birth, and then my biological cousin calls me up and he's like, hey, so are we doing this thing? And I'm like, yeah. I jump at every chance to see my biological family. Having been a runaway for so long, I only reconnected with them in my late 20s. And it's been kind of on and off since then because of the stalker being my biological sister. She's biologically related to them, both sides of my family, sadly. And so last year I wasn't able to go because she went, and I just tried to avoid any situation in which I might probably more than likely go to jail. And so, yeah, I avoided last year, but this year she wasn't going, so I jumped at the chance. Now, um, my my hold on. So my cousin calls me and he's like, "I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to pick you up, and we're going to go to the thing." So Friday comes along, and I guess communication got a little confused, and I thought he was going to come pick me up, and he said anytime after 7:30. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. So I'm all packed up and ready to go, and he calls me at 8, like, so Prima, when are you coming over? And I'm like, me going there? Okay, I can do that because my vertigo's not an issue. It totally is, and I would have done the train ride, but you know, it was a hassle, and that wasn't the issue that night. Um, so I looked out of my window and I said, well, I could take the bus up to the train and just go from there, and that'll be fine. So I look out of the window, and two of my three stalkers that live within a 2 block radius from me, not the sister, the other two, Patrick and Casper, were sitting out in front of the building across the street, right by where the bus stop is. And I was like, so it's going to have to wait a little while because my stalker's outside. 10 o'clock rolls around. Stalker's still outside. And Casper, the main one, the more violent one. And I'm like, I can't go anywhere, and he's still outside. 11:30 rolls around, and he's still outside, and I'm like, look, I just can't go. I can't leave my house. He's still outside. He's not just still outside, but he has invited friends. Now he has his cousin Charlie out there, and he has his girl, Selma, outside, and her friend, and their friend AJ, and AJ just brought pizza and beer, and Selma just brought a boombox, and now they're having a whole full-blown party out in front of the liquor store across the street from my house, and it's right by the bus stop. And I'm just like, and the buses are going to stop running soon, and I'm just like, I can't leave my house. I just can't. And so I told him, listen, I'll try to get out to you in the morning. It's the best that I can do. So he was like, listen, I'll get my brother to come pick you up in the morning. Okay, fine, that's perfect. So in the morning, he calls me and he's like, hey, are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. I've been ready since last night with my overnight bag. So I just took out the overnight stuff, and I left my bathing suit in there because we were going to have a pool party at my Aunt Mary's house. Gorgeous, gorgeous pool. And yeah. So that happened, and so the next morning rolls around, and his brother can't come pick me up. He calls me. He's on his way over. Half hour later, he comes to pick me up, and the funny thing is that at 3:30 in the morning, at 3 o'clock in the morning, and about 4:30 in the morning, I heard the cops pulling up across the street because they are loud, and they're right in front of my windows. And they tried to get Casper and them to go home. It was still 3:30 in the morning, and they weren't gone. 4:30 in the morning, they weren't gone yet. But first thing in the morning, when they came to pick me up, it was like 9 o'clock in the morning. Um, Everything was fine. Nobody was outside except Patrick, who is the most innocuous of my stalkers. He just really wants to become part of my family, and so he just follows us around like he's part of the conversation. I know. Like, I was walking with my home attendant, and we were going around the corner to drop off my laundry at the laundromat, and he was literally following about 4 steps behind us, half of the way there. I turned around really abruptly, like, excuse me. And he looked at me, and he was like, and he looked over at the building across the street, and then he started walking back the way he came. Because he just wants to be part of the conversation. He just wants to be one of us. And that's sad and pathetic, but still stalker, you know? And he only gets violent when he thinks that he has a right to be here. So there's that. Anyway, so Patrick was outside, and we go to the band practice, which was scheduled before the family reunion. So we went to band practice. It was amazing. It was awesome. The guys were doing great. And then we went on a 3-hour trek all the way upstate New York to my aunt's house, where everyone was just like, get in your bathing suit, get in your bathing suit. So I'm like, oh my God, all right, fine. I got in my bathing suit, and the first thing, I was the first person in the pool with my Aunt Ruth, and we just, we got the party started, and my Aunt Mary started playing music, and they were like, can you dance? I'm like, bitches, please. I used to teach dance. So I started dancing with them. Now I'm dancing with 2 of my aunts, my Aunt Mary and my Aunt Ruth, who both jumped into the pool with me. And I'm like, I've only got 2 arms. I'm spinning them out, and I'm like dancing with them, and I'm losing my place because I have 2 of them with me. I'm used to dancing with 1 dance partner, and I had 2 of them. And so my cousin Oz jumps in the pool, and he starts dancing with them, and it was a fun time had by all. Me and my cousins got along famously. We were hanging out, smoked a little weed on the other side of the other side of the wall. My aunt had like a fence, a big wooden fence that looked very like a tiki lounge kind of thing. Anyway, big wooden things that, and the gate to the yard and all of that. So we smoked on the other side of the yard, so that the kids wouldn't see us, And then we came back and hung out, and everyone was drinking beer, and I was the soberest of all because I don't drink beer. I drink liquor, and I drink wine, but I don't drink beer. And so I was sober as a church mouse. And we got home at God knows when. We drove all the way back to Queens, and then he put me in an Uber home because he was just too tired to drive me all the way back home. And yeah, so I got home at about 3 o'clock in the morning. That was awesome. From 9 a.m. to 3 o'clock in the morning, that was my day. And that was amazing. And I loved every second of it, and I miss my cousins already. The only problem that I have with all of this is that while the pictures are beautiful, they were posted in a group chat with my stalker, who now has pictures of me that are current and recent. Yeah, because my family's still in touch with her, and she's in the family group chat, and I don't comment in it or talk in it because she's there. Get it? I don't want her to have anything to do with my life. I don't want her to even have a window into my life, but they have given her that by putting her in a group chat with me, and now she has pictures of me. But the pictures are awesome, and the weekend was awesome, and that's it. That's all I have to say on that, and I will talk to y'all soon.